Watkins back deep. Super Bowl 55 is underway with a run back 3 yards deep. Pickens straight ahead. And he runs it out to about the 24, where he's hammered there by Sherman, the fullback, out there on special teams. We'll bring out Tom Brady. Did you ever think we'd see him in this spot one more time? Well, here he is, and he tells us, Tony, we still haven't played our best game yet.
Well, if that's the case, then you're in trouble, Kansas City, because they've been playing fantastic. And I'll tell you right now, the plan for both these defenses, pressure the quarterback, get it out of their hand, make someone else beat you.
Fournette gets to start at running back. He fakes it to him and comes to the other side to Godwin, who was tripped up. Nice piece of tackling by Breeland, who has shown off his tackling skills in the postseason and holds him to a gain of 2. Here is the Buccaneer offense. The line, it's solid. The playmakers get underrated because we're talking so much about the guys that can catch and run on the Kansas City side, Tony.
You're exactly right, and they've been able to be efficient in the running game. They're ranked 28th, Jim, but actually they're a really good running offense, and they can shorten the game, play action, and they'll run this formation a ton.
On a 2nd and 8, they'll ride it with Fournette, who's also had a big postseason, and he fights hard for a gain of about 3. This Kansas City defense of Steve Spagnuolo, can they get pressure today? That's his specialty in pass matchups against Brady.
He's had success. We touched on it earlier. In 2007, the 18-0 Patriots went to the Super Bowl, and Spagnuolo, the D coordinator for the Chiefs, he disrupted one of the great all-time offenses, and there he is. And he's got a plan, and it's going to be about some pressure, Jim.
3rd and 6, and here comes the pressure. They pick it up. The pass is out of reach for Godwin, and the Bucs will come off the field after 3 plays. They had opened at Lambeau 2 weeks ago by converting on 4 third-down plays to go for an opening drive touchdown, but they're shut down after this incompletion without picking up a first.
Talked about pressure. They brought everyone right here. Watch this. Bring them all over the place. Ball's got to come out, and it's just that 1/10 of a second you got to get out of that.
Bradley Pinion is the punter. Kansas City is dangerous in the return game. The only team in the league this year that had both a punt and a kickoff return for a touchdown. Hardman watches it bounce at the 30 and down at the 33. 40-yard punt will bring out Patrick Mahomes now. Going to set all these youngest to ever do so marks, but it was on this field where they had perhaps the most electrifying first quarter I've ever seen 10 weeks ago. He threw for 229 yards in the first quarter alone, with 203 going to Tyreek Hill as they jumped out in front 17-0, and then would go on to hold on to win by 3.
Well, and this is huge for Tampa. You don't want to get behind like they did the last game. Patrick Mahomes just will figure you out at some point, just like Brady. Both these quarterbacks have to learn what you're in, and you got to get them off their spot early in the game.
Quick pass, and it's caught by Pringle, who was backed up. We'll get some forward progress here, but Byron Pringle, who was raised here in Tampa, gets a catch in his hometown on the Chiefs' first snap. This is the big issue here, Tony, this offensive line with Eric Fisher out. Rimmers to the left side. Wiley moves from right guard to right tackle, and Wisniewski steps up to start at his spot.
And a lot of the great offenses in history in the Super Bowl, Jim, it's the front four has to create pressure. And if they're able to do that, that's how you get these quarterbacks, right? You can make them throw the ball early while you're able to play pass coverage, and it's huge right now because Pierre-Paul's playing great, and so is Barrett.
2nd and 7. Sammy Watkins is active, and boy, did Mahomes have no time to throw as Shaq Barrett got to him quickly and forced the incompletion.
And Barrett will come right off the edge, 58, and he knows and recognizes it's a screen pass to the left. It's a good job by Mahomes to get rid of the ball, but like we said, this is how you beat great offenses in history. Your front four, Pierre-Paul right there. They're going against backups, right, Jim? You got to use them, and that's going to be one we're going to watch over and over again.
Yeah, both tackle position, plus Mitchell Schwartz, their starter at right, went out early in the season, so very thin on the line. Got exposed on that play. Here's a 3rd and 7. Mahomes will keep it. He's got an open field and easily picks up the first.
This is what makes them so difficult, right? We talk about the tackles, you got to get pressure. Well, this guy just makes everyone's job easier. Oh, yep, they get up, create some pressure. And Patrick Mahomes, once again, runs for a first down on 3rd and 7. And guess who has the most first downs on 3rd and long with his legs this year, Jim?
That guy right there.
Yep.
And he's running with an injured toe that we're hearing reports will have to be operated on after the season. Didn't show any effects that time. He rushes for 11. Edwards-Helaire is his running back from the 47. Had time, now it breaks down. Able to pick up a couple out of it.
Wow, this is a great job. This is the plan that you have to have. You're looking, these are their 2 best players. You need 4 guys on them. You 2 guys, you take Tyreek Hill, and then you 2 guys underneath, you guys take Kelsey. That's going to make everybody else have to beat you. That's the plan to beat the Chiefs.
So they've run 4 plays. They've called 4 pass plays. 2 of them, though, Mahomes had to run out of the pocket to pick up yardage. It's a 2nd and 8. Down the field it goes, and it's incomplete, just out of reach for Mecole Hardman. And Dean, who's the speediest member of that secondary, was running right with him. Here's the Bucs defense, and what do you see them needing to do today, other than just get that pressure from those 2 you talked about, JPP and Barrett?
Well, they got to make someone else beat them, right? Tyreek Hill is going to beat you one-on-one. You have to accept that and double team him with someone else. Just know he's a game wrecker. He's not. It's not 3rd and 10 and then we double him. You double him on every down. Do not let him beat you. And then you try and hurt Kelsey at the line of scrimmage, Jim. Hit him a little bit early.
Darrell Williams comes into the backfield on a 3rd and 8. Mahomes down the field. It's open, but Hardman was not close enough. Again, there was some pressure as the pocket was breaking down. Carlton Davis was the closest defender.
Well, and this is what we talk about. The ball has to come out just a little early, but the reason why he's open is because Tyreek Hill is underneath them. As you see the stunt up front, great pressure. And that's huge. I mean, both these defenses getting stops against these 2 quarterbacks and offense is impressive.
Tommy Townsend, only his 2nd punt of the postseason. And it bounces at the 6, and an unlucky bounce it is for Kansas City. Downtown Tampa Bay area hosting the Super Bowl for the 5th time. So much talk about Tom Brady's 10th. It's 19 years ago this week when he first played in a Super Bowl game. February of '02. Tony, you were a junior at Eastern Illinois. LeBron was a junior in high school. Mahomes was 6 years old and in kindergarten. First down play is going to be a running play with Jones. And Ronald Jones, who has an extra gear that Fournette doesn't, in fact had a 98-yard touchdown sprint this year in a game against Carolina, breaks that one for 13.
Yeah, and this is what they've done a really good job. They've gotten simple as the season has gone on, and they run it very efficiently on first down, and they can shorten these games and run it, screen it, play action it, Jim. That's what they've gone to. And that gives teams trouble because it makes the game very simple for your offense.
By the way, Antonio Brown, who had been questionable over the last 2 weeks, he's up. Here's a little toss to Miller, and he's knocked down by Frank Clark. The loss of 3. Tony, that sets up the Romo report with the Bucs on offense.
Well, and you go against this blitzing defense, the pressure. We saw it on the first 3rd down. They're coming after you. The Chiefs, well, I want the Buccaneers to line up and make the game simple. We just talked about it, Jim. Just run it, throw some screens, keep the pressure off, and then play action it and take your shots downfield, because they've been a big play threat team all year, really.
2nd and 13. Gets it to Brady. He's nursing a back injury, and he was questionable coming in. They're thrilled to have him up. He's having a huge postseason. 11 catches, make that now 12 in these postseason games. Tom Brady was the first man, by the way, to walk on the field today. Came off the bus and didn't go to the locker room. He walked out on the field, just kind of gazed around, looked around, went back in.
I could see you were gazing at him, too, while he was gazing. Really well done by the gazers.
Easy. Antonio Brown is in this game. 3rd and 8. And they get to him. Brady is sacked back at the 29. Okafor coming up and jawing with Jensen.
That's just an outstanding job of fooling the quarterback. And watch right here. Sorensen, you're coming, right? We're all coming. We're all lined up right here. You can't really tell. They just pop out, double team the tight end, hit him.
Frank Clark who got to him, Tony.
And he's been playing outstanding, Jim. Frank Clark in this postseason has really picked it up, as you saw with the play on 1st down and 3rd there.
Yeah, he had 2 sacks against Buffalo 2 weeks ago. So again, they take him off the field. They pick up the 1 first down on the run by Jones. And now Pinion's punt again bounces at the 30. Backwards bounce. It's on the ground and is picked up for just a moment by Hamilton. Officials blow the whistle. The officials actually moved it back to the 38. Said it went out of bounds at that point. And that's why Hamilton was unable to pick up the ball and advance it, as Chiefs fans were hoping. Eric Bieniemy, which a big part of getting this offense to click, their offensive coordinator. On 1st down, toss it to Hill. Get the ball in his hands for the first time. Kelsey was out there trying to clear a path. Tony, give me your report with the Chiefs on offense.
Well, you see that play right there? Here's the report for the Chiefs. Protect Mahomes early in the game. Your 2 tackles are out. This team's provided pressure up front with their front 7. So make sure he gets it out, feels calm, collected, gets into the game. Defensively, where's Tyreek Hill? He's right here. He's lining up on the bottom of your screen. That guy, somebody over here the entire game. One of these 2 better be watching him over and over again on every play, Jim.
Davis is on him on 2nd and 5. And it's a run play to Edwards-Helaire, and the rookie fights for the first. Looked like he's going to be stopped a couple yards short.
Well, you see 2 runs. That's helping these offensive linemen, the tackles, right? All of a sudden, you're like, hey, let's go ahead and keep it simple, run the ball. You see Devin White, 45, make the play.
Devin White is always around the football.
He's played outstanding in the postseason, too.
And a young leader. Just in his 2nd year out of LSU. 5th pick in the draft in 2019. 1st down. Mahomes. Again, there's plenty of room, and he reaches out for the marker. Levante David was trying to cut off the angle, but it is marked for a first.
And what an outstanding job by Andy Reid. Like we talked about, you need to protect the pocket. Well, that's a tight end and a receiver. That's Pierre-Paul right there. They're going to block him and move the pocket, which means I'm not going to put you on these tackles. That's a double team and an automatic quarterback movement. Really smart getting Mahomes into the game like that.
3 rushes in this opening quarter by the quarterback for 24 yards. A new set of downs, and the give, Edwards-Helaire, and a nice tackle. 2nd and 4. Brady watching after 2 stalled drives. Mahomes clears it out. Did he get him to jump? There's a flag out. Free play as he throws on the run, and it's tipped away at the last moment. Would have saved a touchdown. Murphy Bunting got a hand on it. Otherwise, it probably would have been 6.
Number 90, defense, 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
And you see how quickly the pressure is coming, especially when you jump off sides, Jim. It really does help you get to the quarterback sooner. But you'll see his weight go forward. Oh, stop. But really, a lot of guys stop right there. They don't continue. And that helps the quarterback, but he does and makes him throw it. Murphy Bunting with a good play to avoid giving up a touchdown.
He's made a bunch of big plays. He's had a pick in all 3 playoff games and prevented a touchdown with that one. But a 1st down off the offsides. That was dangerous, as Hardman had never turned around, and Dean was moving in on it.
Yeah, it's just an outstanding job of timing up The pressure, watch right here. Mahomes, this motion, most teams don't pressure when you motion this quick. But right there, they time it. You can't block that when it comes that fast. When teams motion, you don't usually like to blitz extra guys. But they've played them now before, and they're timing it up.
It was Murphy bunting who had deflected on the previous play, who came crashing in after Mahomes and forced the quick throwaway. 2nd and 10. Toss to Edwards-Helaire, and that looked out of sync from the start, and a loss of 2. That's Devin White making another tackle.
I mean, this is the speed of Devin White, 45. Once he recognizes it, he beats the lineman all the way outside and cuts off the edge. And that just shows you his skill set. I mean, to get there that quickly on Edwards-Helaire. You know, Jim, he runs a 4.42 40 for a linebacker, okay? He's pretty fast, just like me. I mean, we're about the same in the race normally.
3rd and 11. Pressure again. Mahomes. Look at this throw. Down deep and almost pulled in by Hill. Would have been a circus catch. And Butker will come out for a long field goal try.
Oh, look at this. We're going to send 2 corners on the edges. No one does that. But guess what? Patrick Mahomes isn't known, and he gets away. And great defense on the back end. Usually that's a touchdown when you get out of something like that.
Ooh, hit him right in the face guard. Did you see how he flicked that pass? Sidearm, off balance.
And then you got a little doink.
So Harrison Butker, 25 of 27 on the year, 49-yard attempt. And that kick is good. First points of the game. Here's a special stadium look presented by the Bud Light Legends. With that field goal to put the first points on the board, Kansas City, we talked about this during the Cleveland divisional game, has the lead, Tony, for the 62nd consecutive game at some point.
Still throwing the ball deep as well as anybody in the National Football League.
He looks exactly like he did 10 years ago.
And so do you, Jim.
I appreciate that. There's a running play with Fournette for 3. We're getting 3. Bruce Arians becoming the 2nd oldest coach, stay with that age theme, ever in a Super Bowl. Only Marv Levy was ever older in a game. But overall, these two together, Arians, Reed, the oldest coaching matchup.
He's done a great job of making the game. They got aggressive, right? After about week 12 when they lost that game, they decided to get really aggressive with all their calls, Jim.
They go ground again. Fournette back-to-back carries, and he's 1 yard shy of a first with 3rd down coming up. There it is. Marv Levy living in Chicago these days. Bruce Arians. Marv also in the game, of course, all those years in a row. Coach Belichick. That was from the Atlanta game we called 2 years ago. Patriots over the Rams.
Pretty good coaches there, aren't they?
Cool.
Here's some rare company in this game. Moves them up quite a bit if you go ahead and beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
3rd and 1. And able to find a little seam up the middle. Fournette gets called on 3 consecutive plays and picks up the first. It's interesting. We got 3:40 to go in the first quarter. Of all the the many things you can look up about Brady's accomplishments, one thing he hasn't been able to do in his 9 previous Super Bowls,
score.
They've never scored a touchdown. Only 1 field goal. It's astonishing.
That is crazy.
Extra lineman in for him. Drops back with time. And got a flag down. Breland looking around saying, what did I do? But Mike Evans was the guy that he was trying to hang with.
Prior to the pass, holding, number 21, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
And Breland's played well you know, as the season's going on. But you'll watch. This team likes to hold a little bit, Jim. They really get their hands on you a lot. And you can see that's a penalty over and over again. And that's one area we're going to watch. Look at the other side. Bet you're going to see the same thing. Yeah. Ward right there doing the same. It's sticky coverage, right? But if they get penalties on them, makes the game very easy for the offense.
From the 45, 6 DBs on the field for the Chiefs. Brady goes sideline, and he has his man. That's Antonio Brown.
Outstanding route by Brown, and Brady on a go route that turns right back. Watch him roll out. He's going to throw the ball deep. I'm going to throw it. Nope, come on back, Antonio. And he fires that ball to the side. One-on-one outside the numbers right there. Those numbers, you're going to have a lot of chances. Look at those eyes.
Still spinning it, sending it with velocity, and a gain of 16.
You can see how excited him and Patrick were about this game.
Play action. They go to Brate with a blocker in front. Cameron Brate down to about the 24 before Damian Wilson finishes him off.
Well, we talked about it at the start. Run it, screen it, play action, right? Here's a play action. Screen. And that's their offense right now. And I think the more they screen it in this game, Jim, the more everything gets opened up against a very aggressive defensive unit.
Well, to your point, they opened this drive with 3 straight carries by Fournette, and now they've had a couple of chunk plays. 16 to Brown, 15 to Brate. Fournette tried to hurdle, fell back down to earth, and then took off to the right side for a first down. Great piece of running by Leonard Fournette.
Fournette coming over this year from Jacksonville, and you see just gets stuck at the line. But finishing, he's had a couple runs like that we've seen where he kind of gets stuck and then comes out of there and finishes. And you see trying to hit that ball out. It's a good job by Fournette hanging on to it. Snead right there. He's done that a few times too.
All the way down to the 13. To Brown. Stiff arm and out of bounds. Shoved down Breland. Coming up on the Rocket Mortgage halftime report, joining JB, Phil, Nate, Boomer, Coach Cowher, highlights and analysis of tonight's game, all coming up on the Rocket Mortgage halftime report.
And you see another screen right there to the outside. That's huge against Spagnuolo. Makes him not want to pressure much.
Did we say Brady's never had a first quarter touchdown? I mean, could he possibly beat the clock here?
Did you jinx Spagnuolo?
I don't know.
Usually it's the guy you're talking about.
One of those weird announcer jinxes. Here's Brady's pass. It's Gronkowski. Back again. The biggest tandem for touchdowns now in postseason history. The old Patriot teammates reunite in the Super Bowl for a score.
Oh, and they got him back. They've started to utilize him since Kansas City. He's been in a ton, 13 touchdowns, most by a quarterback-receiver duo all time in the postseason history. Gronk is back, Jim, and another screen pass right there to him. Fake it right here. Everyone come over and just throw him a little flat screen, little pick play. And your touchdown call was wrong, Jim.
Yeah,
no, it was right, actually.
It was actually right.
You did get it.
You could see it. They were chasing it after, I guess we alerted them of the fact they were on the snide. Tom's teams. The Bucs have just completed their longest touchdown drive of this postseason, 4.5 minutes. Gronk and Brady, we showed you, they have the record now. Tom has his first ever touchdown drive of an opening quarter and his 10th Super Bowl in an opening quarter. But they've teamed up now for 4 touchdowns in the Super Bowl, but the 13 overall breaks the mark they were tied with of Montana and Rice.
Well, Tampa Bay lost to Kansas City, right? Since then, neither team's lost all year, Jim.
It's Pringle going to the far side, and he's got room. Pringle with a beautiful return near the 40.
That's a big-time run right there. Kansas City, I just said it, they lost in week 17, but they didn't play their starters. But this is why they're explosive in all 3 levels. And just look at Pringle, who started his college career as a quarterback, has really come on
Let's bring in Jay Feely.
Well, Jim, I talked to special teams coach Keith Armstrong before the game. He said on the returns, they have to cut off the wide side of the field. They didn't do it there.
41-yard return. Knocked down. That is again Pierre-Paul.
And this is Pierre-Paul. He's got really long arms. Very tall, and he's always done a great job of timing the quarterback's pass. As soon as you get stopped at the line of scrimmage as a D lineman, you get your eyes on the quarterback and you try and see if he throws in your area, you time it, and a guy with that kind of length makes it difficult. He's only hit about 10 of my throws before.
And he's never lost in the postseason. Going back to his Giants days, he's 7-0. 2nd and 10. Kelsey's first catch. Pick up about 6 or 7. That was the first completion for Mahomes after a 6-pass stretch without a completion. 2 for 8 overall now for 9 yards.
Completely different first quarter, right? Than the first game, Mahomes to Hill had 203 yards.
Start the second quarter at Super Bowl 55. Jim Nantz and Tony Romo in the booth.
Well, here it is, 3rd and 4. Guess who the guy is? Right here. On 3rd and 4, it's here. Over here, it's 3rd and long. Let's see if this safety helps on Kelsey. Right here at the top of your page.
Pass incomplete, and there were Bucks in the area as he tried to fit it in to Darrell Williams. What a start to this game by Todd Bowles' defense.
Well, and you see trying to help Mahomes. Tyreek Hill's going up, but it's just a screen pass. But you can see the help by the safeties. And you see David, he's able to play heavy on him because he has help with the safety right there over the top. But really an outstanding job. This is tougher for Kansas City than it's been, right? It looks like they're getting that kind of pressure on the edges.
Townsend's first punt traveled 51 yards, but only a net of 31, and this one off the side of the foot. And they're going to move this all the way up to the 30. So just a 27-yard boot. They just announced last night the Hall of Fame class. What a distinguished class it is. Peyton Manning. John Lynch gets the great honor here as he's back in Tampa where he spent so many of his years. Charles Woodson.
Some unbelievable names there.
Alvin Johnson, Alan Faneca.
Oh.
First and 10. Brady gets rid of it. Too low for Jones to handle. So we got about 25,000 fans in attendance and another 30,000 cardboard cutouts. You could, for $100, you could send in an image and you could virtually attend the game. And it also would allow you to be a part of a drawing for a pair of tickets to next year's Super Bowl in Los Angeles. 2nd and 10. Gronk. And he's bumped out by Wilson. Seeing that shot of Peyton Manning makes you realize we got all-time 3 quarterbacks who threw for 50 touchdowns in a season. 2 of them are playing in this game, in Tom and Patrick, and of course the other was Peyton Manning. They're all here.
Yeah, I mean that's why this game is being built up so much, because you've got rare ability at that quarterback position. And
after the play was over, unnecessary roughness, number 95, defense, 15 yards will be added to the end of the play. Automatic first down.
And that's called on Chris Jones. That's a big one. Carl Cheffers announcing it.
Yeah, you see right there, Jones retaliated a little bit. Jensen, who's gotten a few people to do that. Brady knows. He's like, oh, you can't listen to Jensen, our center, when he does that stuff. You're going to get caught. Jones upset there, but these penalties, it's so huge on drives. You know, with one penalty from a defense, the data just tells you it's 30% they score with one penalty on any drive from a defensive side, right? The offense scores 30. It's 70% with two. You can't have them in big games.
Gives him a first down at 48. Ronald Jones. Gronkowski helped throw a good block for him, and he picks up 7.
And this is where Gronk coming back just helps tremendously. He's going to go one-on-one with a defensive end. That way they can double team other guys inside and block all these guys down. But the ability for a tight end to take that guy and just handle him by himself. Oh, Jones trying to come back. A little frustration blowing over there, Jim.
He better be careful. 2nd and 3. Jones. Another good run he rips off. And again, Gronkowski had a lead block on that.
Yep. Guess what? Go right at him, right? Lead block, you said. He's great at it, Jim. You've seen how many games of his? A gazillion. Right there, one-on-one with a defensive end. That's hard for most tight ends. By the way, how many games have you done, Gronk? I know you know Brady's. How many did you get with Brady?
I'm told this is the 100th time I've called a Tom Brady game in his career.
That's unbelievable.
Of course, Gronk missed time, so it wouldn't be quite that high. Of course, the career not as long either. 1st and 10, Brady from the pocket. He's got Evans. They've got the Kansas City defense on its heels now, running and throwing.
You're exactly right. The game is getting simple, right? You run, you throw up, but look at Evans, just runs right away from Breland. And using that length, a little banged up this year, but really that's the type of stuff. He's great when he has interior breaking routes. That size plays a role in a strike by Brady. And it looks efficient. And that penalty hurts you when you look back again.
It's huge. And now that play picks up 31. 1st and goal. Extra lineman in for the Bucs. Joe Haig, the extra lineman, at a timeout called. So we were here November 29th. They were a tired team. They've told us that several times this week. And when they lost on that Thanksgiving Sunday, it was their 3rd consecutive loss. They had lost to the Saints, the Rams, and then the Chiefs. Then they had the bye. They were the last team to get a bye in the league. They needed it. And they came back, and they've won every game since. And look at Brady's numbers after that bye.
Yeah, well, and here's what happens. The bye week, we saw it right before our eyes, how they just played really good in the last 3 quarters of that game after the bad start against Kansas City. But during the bye week, the offense, the coaches, and Tom Brady, they look at the tape and they say, let's get rid of all the cool stuff we've tried all year. We've had 10, 12 weeks now. Let's go ahead and put only the stuff we're good at and make the game simple where our guys know what to do.
1st and goal. Jones trying to slip through a tackle, but it was Chris Jones able to hold on to him long enough, but they're about 2 yards shy of the 1st.
And right there, the game is simple. Watch the run to the right behind Gronk and these guys. They're just running straight forward. Chris Jones does a great job coming off. But that's a tough play because they're just kind of going right at you. And that's what they do. They got rid of all the extra cool runs and said, let's just hammer them straight forward, play action, screen, and let Tom throw it deep.
2nd and goal. Great moves out. Jones is the running back. Fake to Jones. Over the top they go. Oh, and it was a pass to Haig, the extra lineman we had just mentioned. He had a chance to make the catch.
It's really an outstanding job by Hitchens, 53. Because nobody really thinks they're going to throw the ball to the guy who lets it hit his helmet.
No.
And just get his hand in there. It's not really a drop, right? He definitely didn't catch this clean.
It almost got wedged right in between the top of the face guard and the bottom of the helmet. He got knocked away. 3rd and goal. It's Jones. It's Jones getting hit and getting stopped. Did the ball come out? Kansas City and Sorensen think they have it. They're marking him down.
And what a stick. coming up the middle.
Wirfs has the football in his hands. Passanio was in on the tackle. And now, Tony, we've got a 4th and goal.
Against these quarterbacks, you're going for this stuff all game. Both these offenses systems are too good. You need touchdowns, and you have the chance to get in, and fumble came out late. He's down.
Vita Vea is the fullback. They brought him onto the offensive unit. He moves to the right side, 4th and goal. Has Jones. Did he break the plane? Still looking, no signal.
Oh, this is going to be close, Jim. Because if the signal happens, it's got to be clear. And they get a stop, Jim. But it's going to be one of those we're going to look at 50 times.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Tampa Bay loses their first challenge and is charged with their second timeout of the half.
The Bucs challenge after we went away to break. Gene Steratore, there was just no sign there that could overturn it.
No, there wasn't, Jim. And even with Jones's second effort, he just failed to be able to reach the ball out to get it across the goal line. It was a great job by Kansas City preventing him from releasing that ball and extending it forward to get it to break the goal line.
Damian Wilson with a great stick, and then Ben Neiman helped shove him back. And well, the Chiefs defense, their opponents had been 9 for 9 on 4th and 1 against them this year. It's the first time they stopped anybody on 4th and 1.
And even more, Jim, Ronald Jones had 2 chances. He was 8 for 9 on 3rd or 4th and 1 this year. And just statistically, for the Chiefs to stop you twice, it's just so difficult. And
okay, I'm going to set something up here for you, Tony. There has never been a 99-yard touchdown drive in the Super Bowl in history.
I see what you're doing here.
Yes.
Is it going to happen right here on this play?
It's a drive. Let's see how it starts. Little flick, and it's Hill weaving, getting away from bodies, and gives him working room out to the 15. Gain of 14.
I mean, his speed and short area bursts is just terrifying for defensive players. I mean, look at this. Yep, excuse me. I'm all right. You too. Okay, now I got to go down. Big people. Look at that throw. So many arm angles Patrick Mahomes uses. Great shot right there by our guys in the truck getting that one.
Coming back over to Hardman, but the ball thrown at his feet. Wouldn't have gone anywhere anyway because Levante David was ready to hammer him. Let's go down to Tracy.
Well, Jim, we saw Sarah Thomas make the call on that 4th down. History has been made today as she becomes the first female to officiate a Super Bowl. She said her goal was always to be #1 in her position, and as a result, she got the opportunity today. Sarah said she probably will get a little teary-eyed, but knowing the impact that she is having, not just on her daughter, but on young girls everywhere, is just remarkable. Just an inspiration to everyone, Jim.
No question. Tremendous job. We've had so many games that she's done, so respected. And here is the handoff to Williams for a couple, but now it'll be 3rd and long again.
Yeah, she's inspiring. A lot of young women up there, and that's great to see. And great for everyone in the NFL. She's talented, too.
Tony, the Bucs so far have held Mahomes to only 3 out of 11 for 23 yards.
It's troublesome right now if you're a Kansas City fan, only in this regard. They get behind plenty of times in the playoffs, and they always win by like double digits, it seems like. But this one's concerning to me because he's not having the same kind of time. And these guys have played them once before. So we're going to find out right now. Patrick Mahomes is going to have to do some crazy special stuff.
On 3rd and 8. Look at that throw. Oh, and it's dropped by Kelsey. He was getting hit by his ankles. He knows he should have had it. Would have been a first down and a whole lot more.
Watch Mahomes. He's going to get pressure like we just talked about. He doesn't have the same pocket as before. He drifts back a ton. He has to throw that before he's ready. And another double team on Kelsey. He still gets open, but that one is a drop, and that is costly.
And guess what? We still don't have a 99-yard touchdown drive in Super Bowl history. Townsend was able to pick up a slippery snap. What a tackle. As Mickens goes down, Pringle on special teams making a couple of fine plays. We do have a marker down. He's had a great tackle there, a kick return, a catch in the game.
That was a great tackle.
That was a 56-yard punt to go with it by Townsend.
See what the penalty is here.
The reason you even contemplate somebody being able to go the distance when Kansas City has it is this year they had drives this year that started inside their own 10, and they scored on 6 of those 10 drives 60% of the time. So
they've been unstoppable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially when they really need it, right? It just looks tougher in this game because Tampa's defense is good, but really it's just the time. It's like Mahomes did it on the last play, just Kelsey had a drop, but he kind of overcame it. He's going to have to do it a lot.
Kicking team number 56, 10-yard penalty, replay 4th down.
Called on Ben Neiman, who helped make the stop on Jones at the goal line.
You see right there, 56, holding.
Minter. Jay Feely, tell us about Townsend, the punter for the Chiefs.
Well, Tommy Townsend has a huge leg. He punted the ball great in warmups, but you can see the rookie having jitters out there. He had a 27-yard punt, then he drops this punt, and you're in the biggest stage. You're playing in the biggest game of your life, and you have to be able to keep your composure. He's having a little tough time right now, Jim.
Well, that's Jay Feely, who went to high school just a mile and a half from right here at Raymond James Stadium at Jesuit High School. Of course, magnificent long career as a NFL place kicker. So Townsend has his best punt taken off the books with the penalty from the end zone. And he's done it again. Nervous.
Wow, so the first punt you drop and then you bomb it, and the second one you don't drop, and you kind of shank that one a little bit.
Oh, kind of. Welcome back to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Jim Nantz and Tony Romo on the call. Jim Rickoff, Mike Arnold, Ryan Galvin, Brian Kozowski down in the trucks. Our thanks to our entire crew, production and technical teams. Short field coming up for Brady and the Bucs. The jet sweep, and Antonio Brown, AB, has got nowhere to go.
3 different ways, and there's Byron Leftwich, who's really done a good job of evolving this offense as it's gone on this year.
2nd and 13, back into the hands of Gronkowski, and it's Sorensen who wins it. Back to Leftwich for a moment, though. It's so underrated because you know Brady comes in, of course, changes the culture, and a lot of stars on this offense. But to give you an idea how much respect Bruce Arians has for him, when he was offered the job a couple years ago, he said, if Byron wasn't available, I might not have taken the job. It's all him. He runs the show.
Well, he's done a great job, but the communication between him and Brady. Leftwich had to learn Brady. Brady had to learn Leftwich. It's not just Bruce as much as people think. Byron has done a great job with the communication and learning each other and what they do best.
3rd and 4. Ball deflected, tipped, and who else but Tyrann Mathieu has another interception. There is a marker down in the secondary.
Well, and this is what we talk about. Matthew's 6 interceptions, should have had a 7, but this is coming back. This is going to be a hold on the defense of Kansas City outside, and it's going to be on 35. Ward, who's covering Evans.
Pass, holding, number 35. Defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Mathieu had 6 picks in the regular season, already with 1 in the postseason. Thought he had another one.
Well, watch the bottom of your screen right there. He's coming out of it, and he just holds him right there. And that's going to get called because there's a line judge right there watching. Look at the hands. It's just too aggressive. And this is where Matthew's instincts come in. He has such great instincts to kind of foul the ball. These tip balls, he gets to him all the time, but what a big play. We talk about the penalties, Jim. You score a lot more on offense when you get them, and that one is the biggest.
1st and 10. Stacked up is Fournette. That's the 3rd, by the way, penalty on the Kansas City defense. And to make things even worse, again, it would have led to a takeaway, and it's just the very thing that Spags was talking about in our Zoom meeting with us this week. Is just to not make mistakes with penalties.
It's huge because you can't overcome it, especially how hard it is to stop these 2 offenses. And this is the 2nd time they've played each other, right? So Usually defenses actually play a little better the second time around because they know the speed of the other team.
2nd and 9. Brady goes underneath. And Fournette unable to escape Neiman, who did a good job of holding on to him. It's up 3rd and about 5 or 6.
This is tough if you're going to get into a drop back game over and over. Brady does a good job throwing to the backs. I think as the season wore on, he started doing it. Watch Jones. If you're going to leave him one-on-one, he's going to make the quarterback move consistently. Tom slides up in the pocket, moves that ball a little bit away. A lot of nuance to his game, which, you know, I don't know. Is he pretty good, Tom? Has he got a chance?
He's got a chance to have a good career.
Yeah, if he keeps going at this, he could play in the NFL one day.
Just give him some more time. Here's 3rd and 5. Incomplete. That was intended for Tyler Johnson. And Ryan Suckup will come out for a field goal try.
Oh, this is, oh gosh, tough one for Johnson there. Got a laser coming right at him. It's hard to tell which one Brady was thrown to, I think, on that, Jim. But it does hit Johnson right in his shoulder pad.
Suckup, former chief kicker, kicked for them for 5 years, 09 through 2013. 40-yard attempt coming up. Pinion on the hold. Trenner to snap it back from 40. Suckup is good, but there's a flag down. Now this came on a 4th and 5.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if it's offsides, I mean, someone lines up offside sometimes, you never know. Did 17 Hardman line up offside? If so, it could be a first down. It's close. Ooh.
Oh. And it is against the Chiefs.
Either way, you're going for it now, even if you're 4th and inches.
Offside, number 20, defense, lined up in the neutral zone. 5 yards results in a first down.
Yeah, it's enough. Antonio Hamilton.
Well, this is where I think they're calling it Hardman. But right here, they said it's 20. Could be him as well. Could be both of them.
Boy, they rounded out and curved the that defensive front on the field goal try, and they got called for it.
Just another mental mistake. I mean, these are huge. It's the Super Bowl, Jim. I mean, you can't give teams second chance. That's a second drive. Now it's tough to stop again.
Brady, play action. Looking. 3rd option. End zone. Caught! Gronkowski again with the touchdown. Hold on, there's a flag.
Jim, this is going to be a touchdown. I think Kansas City held again on the other side of the field. I was watching up top. Mike Evans got held.
Holding. Number 21, defense. The penalties decline. Result of the play, touchdown.
Watch Gronk. They're going to hold, right? This team holds a lot. But he's so big, he's just going to push off, and that's the guy in this game that's troublesome if you're Kansas City. And see that laser and the time Brady had set up, the ability to look off and come back. And Gronk coming back this season to get two touchdowns in the Super Bowl. He totally planned that, didn't he?
He retired after the Super Bowl 2 years ago down in Atlanta. He was at the Super Bowl game last year, being honored with the top 100 players as the league celebrated his centennial. And now a unique look at the stands presented by Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade.
No, when life gives you lemons, Jim.
Make lemonade. That's that.
And then mix it with something else and have a fun time tonight.
That guy was Dude with a Sign. That's his name.
Oh, that sounds cool. Write that down, Jim.
Back here with a dude with a mic. All right, down 11. Oddly enough, Kansas City's been very comfortable these last 2 postseasons, being down by double digits, or even in one case down 9. They connect it. Mahomes to Kelsey.
Just going up, protecting the deep pass, zone on first down, and Kelsey tremendous at getting his body into these little areas for such a big guy. And Mahomes is going to find him over and over again if you keep running that look.
Kelsey's second catch. That one for 13.
You got to watch it. Tyreek Hill's down here, one of the safeties.
Over to Hardman. Splits the defenders. Murphy Bunting brings him down after 4.
This is exactly Kansas City now. They're starting to learn what they're in. And Tyreek Hill's taking 2 or 3 guys deep. Have a guy underneath him. If you want to double him, Jim, you probably got space underneath wherever he's at. It's a good job by Kansas City finding a little bit of soft spots in the defense.
Hill held to 1 catch for 5 yards. After 203 yards in the first quarter here in November. We were talking about him being on an 800-yard pace for the game. On the run, that's caught by Kelsey. At the last minute, Mahomes saw Travis, picks up 12 and a first.
Well, this is where Kelsey, who's like, I need a break, I'm tired. Watch, he's going to go up, and he's trying to read it. And he's like, I can go out or in. And you see, he's reading David right here. As soon as he sees David take the outside, he uses his instincts to get open, create a throw for the quarterback.
And does a great job turning around and making the catch. His talks with us, he talked about you have to perfect the peak. Something that Andy Reid admonished to his team about these 2 weeks leading up to get ready the minute the game starts. Perfect the peak. They didn't have it at the start of this game, trying to get something going now. As Mahomes, with that last little wiggle, picks up another first down.
Using his legs, he's going to have to today. Some of the matchups up front. And watch the little wiggle here. Good job getting the first down. He's so tough, right, to go against Mahomes. I mean, I'm telling you, he's never out of a game. It doesn't even feel like it. Anybody else, maybe Brady, you're like, okay, probably getting back in it. But Mahomes, it's just a guarantee he's going to get his team back in the game and in a position by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
And that guy right there knows it. Edwards-Helaire to the 29. Picks up 7. So they have 58 yards rushing, Kansas City, but 34 of it is on the legs of Mahomes when he's had to run out of the pocket.
And they really need to have a little bit of a running game with the way that they're playing soft today on the back end. They're still playing physical at the line of scrimmage, which I like Tampa-wise, but the safeties are deep because they got to protect. As you see them right here on your screen, look at these 2 guys. They keep backing up. They'll come down on these short yardage. 2nd and 3, come on down here. Oh, wait, they're motioning, get back.
Looking over for Hill, instead dumps it off to Kelsey. First down, keeps his balance, and they're in the red zone.
This is just all Patrick Mahomes, just playing a little backyard football. See how deep they are back there? Mahomes just finding the soft stuff underneath. That's where running the ball, throwing underneath. Keep the game simple right in front of you, and then take your shots when that safety and those guys start to come down.
Mahomes 4 for 4 on this drive. No need to snap it before the 2-minute warning. Don't want to leave too much time. If you score, 2 minutes to go in the first half. Kansas City, until this drive, just not looking like Kansas City.
Well, the reason is, see these guys? They're making you win up front. They need you to throw the stuff underneath and run the football because they're not letting Tyreek Hill beat them.
Last minute, gets it over to Hill. But Devin White has a word or two with Hill, and the officials will come break that up.
And just watch. They have people around Tyreek wherever he goes. Look at the communication by Devin White and everybody. He goes back, forth, back, forth. But see the swarm come in, Jim, where it's just, he's never going to be by himself one-on-one because of, look at that. The last time they played, this is the second time you play against a Todd Bowles type defense. He was not going to let him beat him.
He lost a yard with that last one. 2nd and 11. Tough pass. Right in front of David. It's caught by Kelsey, who boxed him out.
It's a really good throw and route, but you see the pressure that Mahomes is having to throw. He's used to looking right, coming back left and firing, but now he's got to throw with a guy in his face. Kelsey's going to be the guy.
He's got 4 receptions on this drive.
Well,
and it's a 3rd and 6.
Pretty sure he had 13 already.
Against Buffalo.
Yeah, in the last game, which is a postseason record.
Big play here. Coming after him. Way back. All the way to the 35. And it's incomplete. That was Shaq Barrett.
Well, we talked one of the biggest parts in this game was the ability one-on-one. If you can get them in passing downs, 4th and 6, where you know they're having to drop back. Barrett, 58, comes flying in. It's one-on-one against backup tackles. Patrick Mahomes is having to play faster than he's played all year, simply because of the guys that are up there. And these guys on the edge are so good for Tampa Bay, making life difficult.
Harrison Butker was good from 49 to open the scoring in the first quarter. This would be 34 yards. Townsend on the hold. And that kick is high and good. The Bucs to get the football with 1 timeout. We'll have a return. Mickens takes it from the 1. Falls all the way out to the 30. Nice run back, 29 yards, but this is where Brady is so dangerous.
You don't think these guys want to win? This is the Super Bowl, Jim. I mean, it's going to be chippy. You got to be smart, though, and not hurt your football team, right? And right now, this drive, huge.
Huge, absolutely huge.
You get the ball back, Kansas City. You can't let Tom go down and get points.
They begin the drive with a Fournette carry, and finally it'll be Jones who will end it, along with Clark's support. The Bucs, in the 3 postseason games leading in, had scored in the last 2 minutes of the first half in each game.
Well,
Commissioner Goodell with Russell Wilson and his wife Ciara. Russell last night, Walter Payton Man of the Year award winner. And a great tribute to all the work he's done, and what a great year it's been for the NFL and all the many people led by Roger Goodell. A crowning achievement for them to be able to get through this season, and all the contact tracing and different things that they did to keep the schedule right on go. Dr. Alvin Sills and many other people. So many doubters never believed we get to this night, but
testament to all the work, commitment to everyone in the National Football League. You got a timeout there by Kansas City. They want this ball back. I'd still be aggressive, some sort of stuff to get out quick.
To Godwin. Wide receiver screen, and he's going to be thrown down about 2 yards short.
That's perfect. And now Kansas City's in a little bit of a tough spot. It's like, do we really want to take another timeout? Because we're kind of helping them. But yes, you need to get this ball back and get some momentum into that second half.
Yeah, that is a real risky timeout, because if they convert here, just remember what happened right before the half at Lambeau Field.
Tom threw a touchdown. Scotty Miller on the left sideline.
Well, first off, they bypassed a punt.
Yep.
You know, it was.
They went for it.
Went for it on 4th and 4. Got the ball over to Fournette. He picked it up. And then with just a second to go, wow, Scotty Miller for 39 yards out.
Well, that's Bruce Arians. Hey, no risk it, no biscuit, Jim. That's what they go by. So
let's see which way the risk-reward timeout goes for the Chiefs. Can they get the ball back with a stop?
Tight.
Or will they get Brady more time to do something? Bucs move the chains as Gronkowski has his 5th catch of the night.
And that's outstanding by Ward to come off. But Gronk kind of taking over this game with his physicalness, just his size. Getting the first down, Brady's going to rely on him in key moments like he always has, but he's learned that this year.
23 seconds to go. Here's the deep ball for this week. Oh, and did he trip him? Breland's going to be flagged. Trying to hit Mike Evans.
Well, we talked. That's what happened at the end of the game against Green Bay. You take a shot when they're trying to stop you. Everyone plays for field goals, right? Your field goals, not Brady and not this offense in these situations. The one thing that's interesting, though, didn't look like it was catchable.
Pass interference, number 21. Defense, false place at the spot of the foul. Automatic, first down.
So, Gene, right here, that's a tough call, I think, because that ball might have been a little over. Gene, is that a penalty, 1? And 2, was it overthrown? Would you be able to pick that up?
It's a foul, Tony, and you know you just can't estimate Mike Evans laying out there and covering 6 or 7 yards, right? I mean, it's just too tight for you to say that's uncatchable.
With 18 seconds, Brady goes in the middle of the field to Fournette, who powers down to the 9. They still have that one timeout.
Well, Kansas City took a timeout. No, that's got to be Tampa. They pointed to the other side. That would be silly. On Kansas City's part. Yeah, it's Tampa Bay who took the timeout.
Arians called it from the sideline.
And that was smart. Really, with 14, he could have done it. But Tom wanted to go down, and well, he got it with 13 seconds. Tom wanted to go down and spike it, Jim.
Have one throw to the end zone.
Well, he can also dump it underneath because you have a timeout left, right? So if you spike it, now you have the whole field. Now they have to throw it to the end zone.
Look at all these penalties, and those 4 have all been big ones. But think about, again, the timeout that Kansas City took on that 3rd and 2 on this drive.
It helped, especially if they give up a touchdown right here. It's the difference. But they wanted that ball back, and really the Chiefs have been phenomenal in the 2-minute situations. 3 points in 2 postseasons. So Brady can't take a sack. Kansas City wants to see what they're in. So they're going to call a timeout here because it's not mattering on the other side.
Crazy things happen right before the half in Super Bowls in Tampa. You remember in 08, last play of the half, James Harrison with the interception. And Al Michaels with the great call. And John Madden with his final call. The legend who was watching back home in California. We send our best.
Brady's been here 1,000 times. He knows he can't take a sack, can't throw the ball inbounds. You don't have time to clock this. You got to take a shot to the end zone. I think you play defense. Usually Spagnuolo comes after you here, and he does.
Coming after him. Has to throw it over the head. They got another flag, and this one's on Matthew. That'll set the ball at the 1-yard line.
No, this one's a penalty. I mean, they get caught because Brady's taking advantage.
Number 32, defense. That penalty occurred in the end zone. We'll place the ball at the 1-yard line. 1st and goal.
Brady can't take the sack. He knows it. He finds Matthew one-on-one, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's uncatchable. But I think that's still a penalty down there because it's pass interference.
Ball at the 1. No timeouts. Penalties destroying Kansas City tonight. Fournette has come in. Do you dare run it? Yeah, that would be into the half if he stopped.
You don't dare run it here. You fake it here, and then you run on the next one if you don't get it.
There's the fake, there's the pass, and there's the catch for the touchdown. Antonio Brown.
Just unbelievable route by Antonio Brown, and what a job. Brady throws this ball down low and away where no one can get it but him. And what a drive, a Super Bowl type winning drive that Brady's only done throughout his whole career. I know it's the first half, but these come back. It makes it so daunting if you're Kansas City. Without your starting tackles, Jim, it's just going to be harder than it's been in the past.
Antonio Brown with his Super Bowl touchdown. He had played in Super Bowl 45 as a rookie. Bruce Arians was the offensive coordinator for the Steelers. He caught 1 ball for 1 yard, was mostly a returner. And again, Brady and Matthew have an exchange.
Yeah, and he went and told him, he's like, listen, after the game, if you want to hang out a little bit, you know, I'd love to have you over. Me and Giselle would like to, you know. No, I don't think that's what he said there.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 32, defense. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. This is his first foul with regard to disqualification.
Well, that penalty won't make much effect here with 6 seconds to go in the half, but it just continues just a damaging trend for Kansas City as the flags and penalties continue to pile up. And this AFC reunion tour for the Bucs with Brady and Gronkowski and Antonio Brown all getting involved in touchdowns.
See how efficient that Tampa Bay offense is, Jim? That's what they've solved. It's simple almost, right? They just kind of run it, screen it.
They had 1 minute and 1 second.
And then you put it in Brady's hands.
Drove 71 yards in 5 plays. Suck up extra point, good. For a 21-6 lead. Brady with 3 touchdown passes. 2 to Gronk, 1 to AB.
And here's the unsportsmanlike. He's running after him. Matthews going at him. Tom's not one to just walk away from good talk. He's like, hey, you got something in your eye, Jim.
I don't know what you're talking about after your defense has just gotten beat again. It's in what is a crucial last minute of the first half touchdown drive.
Well, and he's telling him right here, I got help on the inside. It's not there, and the frustration is boiling over for Kansas City. They're just not, they've been behind before, but this one feels different. Before it was self-inflicted in some of the other games, you know, last postseason, and you always thought they were going to come back. They don't have the same time. It's going to be hard on offense more than it's ever been. And on top of it, your defense right now is going against Brady and a very efficient offense who's able to run the football at you. It's a tall task. They can do it, but this is a tall task for the second half.
They'll kick from the 50 because of the penalty, so you never know with Bruce Arians, who's always good for a risk or two. Who knows if it's a little pooch kick? No. Go ahead and just drive it right through the goalpost. Pinion drives it into about the 10th row. Well, I mentioned they've had deficits. They've overcome them, particularly last year. All 3 games on their way to winning the Lombardi. They were down double digits, including 10 in the 4th quarter down to the 49ers before winning. And they'll have to go make some massive adjustments.
And they will. You're not going to keep Patrick Mahomes down, and this is Matthew, the frustration for Kansas City. They got to keep their eyes forward and just do their job. Right now, they are giving Tampa Bay a lot of their stuff. That's really helped them. You can't do that in a Super Bowl as big as we've had in quite some time.
Kansas City will receive the second half kickoff after deferring at the top.
They're never out of it, and Patrick Mahomes is on that field. He's walking out in the second half of the Super Bowl, down 15. He's not done.
Came back from 10 down in the 4th quarter last year to win it. Here's Pringle to open up the 3rd quarter. And he runs out with a lot of others. Let's go down to Evan Washburn. What did you learn at halftime, Evan?
Well, Jim, Bruce Arians is well aware of the team he is facing. He feels like and knows his offense has to keep scoring. The magic number for Bruce Arians is 40. He feels like they get to 40, they win a Super Bowl. Defensively, he knows adjustments will be made. But the key in that area, tackle well and keep getting after Mahomes, and that will be enough, guys.
Wants to get to 40. They've been over 30 in all 3 of their playoff wins.
Well, sure, you'd like to get to 50 if you could.
Why not?
Why keep yourself down?
Edwards-Helaire, the rookie, running into the secondary. Look at White chase him down, but not until he pulls off what is the biggest offensive play of the game for Kansas City. Goes for 26.
Well, and you'll see this is what we're talking about. You want to stop the big play, you got to run the football. You have numbers in the run game. Just watch. See, these guys, they're so deep because this guy right here is so dynamic. Just hand the ball off, calm down the offensive line, and you'll have a chance.
Out to the 45 he goes. To Kelsey for 9.
It's a perfect start right now. Get it out quickly to Kelsey and run the football, then you'll get your shots.
First half stats were So one-sided, 18 first downs to only 9. The 95 penalty yards, and I heard the guys in the studio too talking about the excessive penalties. Some of them they didn't like the calls. 8-1 in the first half.
Definitely one-sided. I think that'll even up a little, but really when you look at them, it's like each one's its own. It's right most of the time.
Edwards-Helaire, jump cut to get around Barrett and pick up the first. Nice move by the 21-year-old rookie.
Oh, and this is incredible because we talk about the tackles. Wiley whiffs against Barrett. Watch the right side. And then Edwards-Helaire does it on his own. This is the plan, though. At some point, when you start running the ball, look at that cut. At some point, they're going to have to bring those safeties down, and Tyreek Hill will then get his opportunity. If I'm Tampa, I'd resist the urge, Jim. Make them keep doing it.
Come to 37. It's Darrell Williams, who got the start in the divisional round against Cleveland for his first career start, and he performed well. He, too, comes out of LSU, just like his fellow backmate, Edwards-Helaire. Edwards-Helaire trying to go for the back-to-back titles, a national championship last year, and a year later looking for the Super Bowl. But they got a lot of ground to make up. Here's a 2nd and 8. Hardman slipped and only maybe picks up a half yard.
Mahomes looking. Kelsey fires the ball out. Hardman moved a good catch, but then the grass just makes him slip, and now we got a 3rd and 7 where you know they're passing most likely. You know, this is a situation where you'd be like, Mahomes is incredible. He runs the ball a lot in this situation, but this is where the tackle's got to hold up and give him a chance to look downfield.
Needs 7 for a first, Tony.
Well, motion Kelsey in. You got 2 guys down at the bottom that are really good.
Mahomes circles back, throws on the run, and it's knocked down, and no flag. Kelsey with Levante David coming from behind to knock it down.
This is rare. We just saw a slip by Hardman. Kelsey's where he's trying to go. He slips. And he was the one-on-one player because they had to double Tyreek Hill, and he knows how big of a play that was.
Great job by David. It was a clean knockdown, and now we're going to have a 50-plus yard field goal attempt by Butker, who did not miss this year on 50-yarders and beyond. He was 5 for 5.
Oh, I hate when you never know how it's going to turn down.
It's all in his leg.
You heard him.
And Butker right into the net, and good. There are those who are calling this Tampa Bay, with their Lightning winning the Stanley Cup in September, the Rays making it to the World Series, and now the Bucks in the Super Bowl on their home turf. What a span of 5 months. Butker not deep to the 5. Mickens middle and taken down. Watts on the tackle. Let's go to Tracy.
Well, Jim, that extended halftime was probably a good thing for this Kansas City team, especially this defense, because I could tell you, watching them on the sideline before the half, there was a lot of frustration. Several players had to be calmed down, including Tyrann Mathieu. Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo pulling him aside to talk to him. He sets the tone for this team. They cannot afford to lose him. The penalties were costly. Spagnuolo telling his team, we cannot control the officials. Stay aggressive, but it can't cost us. Jim?
Well, other than that opening 3 and out they forced, Tampa's pretty much, the Bucks have had their way. There's a handoff to Fournette for their first snap of the 3rd quarter for about 3.
Well, and that's the thing, they're getting caught. Like you see that one with Mathieu. I mean, that could have easily been called on Brady, and they gave it to Mathieu there. So you're just getting a couple of situations where you're not staying focused on the task at hand, and that's really helped the Bucks.
Five receivers set on 2nd and 7. It's Brown. Quickly brought to the turf by Sorensen, and now they face a third down.
Yeah, sneaky big one right here.
3rd and 4.
Tampa with a run and then a screen pass, doing exactly. They're basically slowing down Spagnuolo's play calls, Jim. He doesn't want to pressure because they keep doing these simple things and getting the ball out.
What Brady did in that first half, 16 of 20, 80%. It's the first time a quarterback in any half in any Super Bowl completed 80% and 3 touchdowns.
He's got to get this. They're coming after him here.
They rush 5. It's picked up. Fournette with the catch. And running over defenders before Neiman had enough to stop it.
This is the evolution of this Tampa offense right here. Spagnuolo, he's coming after you. You're ready to get this ball out. Here they go. They're going to blitz these guys, but as soon as they pop out, they throw the ball to the back. And Brady, instead of trying to read and decipher what they're in, he's gotten the ball to the back. Really good in the last part of the year. And that's helped this offense. Instead of trying to be the big play threat over and over, you just move the chains.
Fournette with 64 total yards in the game. Fournette again. Cuts left. Bounces off of Breland, and Wilson then has the leverage to shove him back.
To grab a Pepsi to get your accent?
Grab a Pepsi, and then you got to scan, too.
It's a lot of work.
You can handle it. Antonio Brown in on this snap. 5 catches for 22 yards and a touchdown. It's Gronkowski running through that secondary. And Thornhill able to get enough of him, trips him up, but another big game. Gronkowski's feasting here tonight. 6 for 68 and 2 touchdowns.
Watch Matthew right here. Now the fake comes in, and he's reading Brady's eyes. Brady's looking right, left, and then he comes back right. That's the one area. Matthew tries to read, and he's got great instincts, but right there, he's going, oh no, shoot. I thought you were supposed to help me over there.
Fournette. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Wow, what a statement by Tampa coming out. Efficient football, like we said, just screens, little ones, play action, gets the big play, and then they run and watch Marp.
Yeah, Ali Marpet right there. Yeah. They had an extra lineman in on that snap, but Marpet helped clear the way, and Fournette, who has found a comfort zone in this playoff run that has made him look like the player that Jacksonville drafted long ago in the 4th with the 4th pick overall. Suck up. At the point good. There's Fournette. Welcome back to Raymond James Stadium. Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, along with Tracy Wolfson, Evan Washburn, Jay Feely, Gene Steratore. Well, 3 minutes and 41 seconds. Just 6 plays to cover the 74 yards. Arians wasn't kidding about the 40 points.
You know, he wasn't. And I mean, if you're watching this game right now at home, you're obviously incredibly nervous as a Chiefs fan because this is just so difficult to get back in it. But that's 4 out of 5 drives they scored a touchdown, and the one they were stopped at the 1, Jim.
That's right. This Pringle flying to about the 26. Joining us tonight at the game as guests of the NFL are 3 of the brave officers from the Metropolitan Police Department, all of whom played heroic roles at the Capitol on January 6th. Along with them is the family of fallen officer Brian Sicknick, who lost his life in the line of duty defending the Capitol. Once again, they begin a drive with a handoff to Edwards-Helaire, and Pierre-Paul holds him to 3. This 19-point deficit that the Chiefs face right now is the 2nd largest deficit of Mahomes' career. You and I were there for the biggest deficit when he was down 24-0 to Houston in the divisional round a year ago. came back to win. In fact, won big.
Well, this is right here what dreams are made of, right? You come back in this one, this will live on the test of time forever against Brady in this situation.
He is taken down by Shaq Barrett.
Sometimes dreams become nightmares pretty quickly, Jim. And
it can flip in a second, can it?
Just watch. You see Barrett just fighting. A lot of that's because the other side, too, though. I mean, Pierre-Paul's dominating on the other side right there. You see that? Mahomes has nowhere to go.
There was Sue in the area also.
This is where, I mean, literally, he has been Superman throughout his entire career. It's like now or never, though, for this team. If he can put that cape on, it's time. It's going to be tough.
3rd and 14. He heaves it. It's knocked away, and on the deflection, it's intercepted. There is a flag down, but that is Winfield with the pick.
I think it's going to stand. It looked like it's in the backfield, right? Didn't someone get held going in?
Holding. Number 62. Offense. Penalties decline. Result of the play is an interception. First down, Tampa Bay.
How bad has it been tonight for the other side? Patrick Mahomes on that offense. On 3rd down, he is 0 for 7 passing and just got picked off on 3rd down as well.
It was actually a phenomenal throw. The guy just got his hand over the top, but he's going to have to make some really difficult ones.
Short field for Brady and company. He's got a wide open target. Fournette gets right under the chin strap of Breeland.
Well, Brady, just a play fake, right? We've talked about it. Now watch right here. This is where you're trying to look back, and he's going to take the over route. And as soon as he turns around, Brady just high-lows Neiman right there. And they've got this, Chiefs, they got their number right now because they have to stop the run. The pressures don't work because they're throwing screens.
They got their number all the way around.
Well, you're going to start just coming after him. Watch this, Jim. They're just going to... I wonder what's going on here. You two guys want to come?
1st and 10. Fournette. Nice cutback. What a move that is. And he's now got 116 total yards. It reminded me, it didn't take it the distance like Marcus Allen did in Tampa's first Super Bowl. The great cutback run of all time.
Just watch. These backers are going to start blitzing a lot. Spagnuolo knows it's a slow death happening right now. And they're going to start sending everyone. And the patience of Fournette there. Great job.
Ronald Jones comes in for him.
Just runs to the right, Jim.
Jones about a foot shy of the first.
Starting to feel like they're wearing him down a little bit.
Well, this is what they do, and if you look at what they've done time of possession in the month of January, in the postseason, in the 4th quarter, they've held the football for over 10 minutes a game. And here we are just 4.5 away with a monster lead on the defending champs.
It's impressive how efficient they've turned, you know, as the season went on. They just learned themselves, and they line up here in this right formation, hand the ball off right. If you don't like it, play action, just stay right.
Here's the toss to the right. Jones got enough for the first. Wasn't much there, but new set of downs.
Uh, 31-9. Do the numbers, Jim. Just pretend like I can do these, but I'm going to ask you just in case. 31-9 turns into what? What's the depth? The score.
You mean the 22-point margin? Is that what you're
there you go.
You're talking about holding
those
to the field
nines
goal
always
here.
get me a little.
Yeah.
That's 22. You're still in it, right? But if you all of a sudden score a touchdown here, and it goes 35-9, numbers, Jim, 26. That's over 3 possessions. Monster stop for Kansas City.
Play action, Brady looking for another one, and it is incomplete. Trying to connect with the backup tight end there, Tanner Hudson. Did you say you had trouble with the number 9?
Yeah.
What kind of sense does that make? Tanner Hudson almost able to be a Super Bowl star.
Well, Tanner Hudson gets actually wide open here. But Brady just overshoots him. But he should have really flattened that route a little bit because they really got the Chiefs guessing.
That was Brady's first incompletion after 9 straight hookups.
32. Coming my way, sir. You need key.
Got a 2nd and 10. Lofts it. Godwin, incomplete. You know, Godwin has a lot to do with us being able to call him TB12 here. You'll see the catch. And great effort, but clearly out. See, Godwin wore number 12. That was his number. And Brady was ready to wear number 7, but Godwin said, you know what? I can't do that to you. So he gave him his uniform number. And maybe Tom ends up with number 7 tonight anyway.
Well, usually there's like, listen, I'm going to give it to you because I'm such a nice guy. Here you go, Brady. But also you're going to go ahead and give me a car,
yes,
a house. Right. But, you know, I'm going to tell everybody I was just being nice to you.
A bonus check, 3rd and 10. Flies over his head, and he falls on it at the 34. That really the only miscue of the night by the Buccaneers. And that just means the suck-up will have to try one from about 51 or 52 yards.
And this ball just goes high and fast. Tough catch. Really a great job getting the ball back. But this was the chance right there, right? Yeah, Chiefs, that's the play that kind of could weirdly, you just never know if this thing plays out.
So his career long is 54. His long of the year is 50. His suck-up. This is 52. Suck-up's kick. Good. We're down to 2:46 to go in the 3rd quarter. Bucks with a Fournette touchdown in this quarter, and now a 52-yard field goal by Ryan Suck-up. Pinion handles the kickoff chores and delivers a touchback 85% of the time. And that time as well.
Make those guys miss in that backfield, but he's now down to the wire, Jim. This is getting close to getting out of hand and not being possible.
Having the roll out, and now heaves it. He's got Kelsey open, and it falls incomplete. There is a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Well, this was holding a 24.
Prior to the pass, holding number 24, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
You know, I'm going to mention Carlton Davis's name because he got flagged there, but I got to give this guy some props. We talked about him so much when we were here on Thanksgiving Sunday. He got torched going up against Hill. He was targeted 9 times, covering Hill. There were 8 catches on that night for 204 yards and 3 touchdowns against him. Tonight, he hasn't given up anything except that penalty. Edwards-Helaire for 6.
And you're right. And this is one of those moments. This is for like anybody playing any sport or doing anything. He just is learning. He learned why I got beat. Todd Bowles says, hey, there's Todd Bowles with an incredible job tonight. He deserves a ton of credit for this plan they've come up with. But he's had him stay aggressive. And he's like, listen, this is just a learning experience. You now are a little too soft in that game. Go trust yourself and get up on him and use that as a way to improve. And Davis has.
Todd Bowles, who won a ring as a player with Washington back in '87. Here is Edwards-Helaire. And he's got a 1st down. Todd Bowles, part of this staff that there are so many deep ties. It's a close-knit organization, really. I mean, and so much of it centering around past relationships with Arians, like Todd Bowles, who played for Arians at Temple back in the early 80s. And we mentioned earlier Byron Leftwich, who Arians got to see too when he was on the staff at Pittsburgh, and Leftwich was a backup. 1st down. Got a flag out. They blow the whistle.
False start, number 10, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
He just took off early, which play is dead. It's tough to see because he's so fast. Call him the Flash.
Here's the targets for Mahomes tonight. Kelsey with 6 of his 12 completions. 6 of 12 Mahomes completions. Hardman with 2 for negligible yards. Hill to basically nothing for him by his high standards. He's had 3 straight playoff games going back to last year's Super Bowl with at least 8 catches and at least 100 yards. Tough pass, and it's knocked down again by David, who has been defending the pass in the middle of that field a couple of times with some knockdowns, denying Kelsey.
It's just an outstanding. Look at how heavy he is. Flat-footed, we call it. Go up and hit him. Kelsey goes up and shakes people. He wins all the time. He has the ability to go inside or outside on those routes. But David says, I'm not going to back up. Most people back up a half a step or with their body weight. He's hitting him right there, and it's really affected this offense for the Chiefs.
It's 2nd and 15. Finally, they get Hill out in the open. He was able to run past Sean Murphy-Bunting for 21.
Wow, this is the first time. It's been a while. You got a little scared right there about not doubling, like they protected against the home run. So the safeties didn't kind of sit in that area around 15 to 10. They were really deep.
And not until this last minute of the 3rd quarter with that completion does Mahomes go over 100 yards passing on the night. 101 yards. He's got more. Down to the 29 with Sammy Watkins' first target. He's been out since week 16.
Now this is really tough. What a throw by Mahomes. But look, he's limping, Jim. This has really affected his movement in the pocket and ability in a game where movement was huge coming in to create plays against this front. With your backups in, he's going to have to do it on 1 foot mostly.
One more snap in the 3rd quarter. He's got time here and throws it out of reach for Williams. But we're heading to the 4th. Well, the Bucs increased their 15-point halftime lead by another 7 points in the 3rd. 0 touchdowns through 3 quarters. First time in Mahomes' career. He's never lost, by the way, by double digits.
It's like unbelievable, these stats that you throw out with him. He's never lost by double digits. It's like he's only played 4 games or something.
He's got Kelsey down to the 11. That was a perfectly thrown ball that time.
Right over the middle. Look at the eyes. Look left, come back and get it right in between. Yes, things are difficult, but this is the guy right here, right? Him and Brady are the 2 guys on earth you want with the ball in the 4th to try and make a comeback like this.
Edwards-Helaire, though, his stop for no gain. Again, it was Devin White. Devin White, whose cousin, and Chiefs fans may not be aware of this, but his blood cousin, Charkandrick West, yes, running back for the Chiefs up until last year. 5 years as a running back. All from that small town in northwest Louisiana, Spring Hill, Louisiana. 2nd and 9. Able to escape. Sue is on him. Misses him. Pass off the hands of Robinson.
Wow, what a play. Whew. Mahomes, even with the hurt foot, you can see he's limping, just kind of, I'm right here, and then I just soft touch, and that should have been a touchdown.
Pass just a little too high.
It was just barely.
Big 3rd down play here. A minute into the 4th.
I'm going for it. It's 2 down territory for me if I'm the Chiefs. This is the time. You're in this, Jim, if you score a touchdown here. We've seen a lot of crazy stuff happen.
Hasn't completed a pass on 3rd down tonight. Can he do it this time? Reverse his course. He's all the way back at the 30. Barrett is on him. Heaves it before the whistle. And Pringle has it in his hands. They rule it incomplete. That was craziness.
Well, you can see the fight in Mahomes. He's trying to will his team and give it a chance with all the movement. What a throw. A little bit risky, to say the least. But he kept trying to buy the time, and it's so hard to get this guy down.
Well, it's 4th down, and of course they have to go for it at this stage. Got to get to the 2 for a first.
Oh.
Mahomes can't hear.
He's asking for them to get the clock back up. You started it too early. He might actually get it. We'll see. Or is he going to say it's a timeout? If they didn't, they're checking right now if they did it and didn't reset the clock correctly. If they did, it's timeout.
First charge, timeout.
Timeout,
Kansas
KC.
City. A 30-second timeout.
What's your best play from the 9? So this is one of those 4th and 9, but you're really at the 11. You can get a first down technically, but you're really trying to score a touchdown.
It's got to be 87, doesn't it?
Inside the middle of the field, yeah. I think what happens is you use Tyreek Hill a little bit as a decoy. But you got to come up with your best stuff. To me, Tyreek has to be a guy that's going and flushing everything out. Like I can tell you right now, this guy is going to be helping over here on Tyreek Hill, which means something over here coming to the middle.
4th and 9. Again, running for his life. Mahomes got it away. Incomplete. White knocks it down. It was intended for Darrell Williams. So the Bucs take over on downs. And Ronald Jones.
Get your kids moving is right.
Absolutely.
Hawk Jones Rivers back home.
It's not a problem in my house, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Jameson and Finley.
Let's calm them down sometimes and just hang out with Dad a little sometimes. That's a great deal.
Sounds so basic, but so important.
It's the best time, though. Nothing more fun than playing with them.
Here's a 2nd and 6. It's Jones. 2 straight carries, and he's got 12 yards in those 2 to pick up the first down. Well, I mentioned it in the 3rd quarter that their ability to just close out games in the 4th has been a running theme through these 3 road games that got them back to their home turf. Through Washington, through New Orleans, through Green Bay.
Hey, lefty, 40,
and they're just so,
lefty.
you know, we've used the word 1,000 times, but they make the game simple.
There's Jones. He's got 8 more. Voting is now open for the Super Bowl 55 MVP presented by Verizon. Go to NFL.com/MVP and vote now.
Well, it's been a total team effort from Tampa. Everyone, a lot of guys deserve it. But Brady and the efficiency, decision making, some of the just the 3rd and 3, check down to the back really quickly, right? And then the big play happens next. He's been just really making the game easy.
Jones getting all the work. And another first down. Yeah, Brady's 20 out of 26. Not for a ton of yards, 195, but 3 touchdowns and no picks.
But that's what you want. You want balance. I mean, how much rushing yards?
128 now on the ground for the Bucs.
And how many? 195 and 128. I mean, that's balance right there. And that's how you beat a great team like Kansas City. I mean, everyone tries to do it right. Let's be balanced, run the football, keep Mahomes off the field. But you got to also complete the 3rd downs and the big plays when they're there in the red zone.
Both Jones and Fournette over 60 yards rushing. As Fournette comes back out and gets another 4.
And they're just tired right now. You know they're running the football. They're coming right at you. You can see the wear and tear right now in Kansas City, and it's hard to repeat, isn't it, Jim? Just that's why we haven't seen it in how long?
Oh, it's
20 years old. I mean,
03, 04.
Yeah.
It's the longest stretch for the Super Bowl era between times when we've had back-to-back champions. There's Brady. That's another first down. All right, Evan Washburn, down to you.
Well, Jim, as we well know, we all owe it to our moms. So for Bruce Arians, that's Kay Arians, 95-year-old Kay Arians. There she is in the red from Hanover, PA, outside of York. The biggest Bruce Arians fan. As a coach, she was the one that got in his ear to said, you need to get back into coaching. This is a dream come true for both Arians to watch her son on the sport's biggest stage. That was pretty cool.
Awesome story. He was so excited about coming down from Pennsylvania. Be here for the game tonight as Fournette has another 8.
Now, when you look back in this game, one of the most simple runs they're going to do. Now watch. Whoever the corner is, he's going to have to end up making a lot of these tackles because all they do is block all these guys down here. Go ahead and you'll see whoever's outside, that's who they want to tackle. That's why teams in this league want corners who can tackle. And as the game runs on, it gets harder. You know, they have a big bruising back coming at you. You like to cover people. Tampa makes it hard on you.
2nd and 2, Fournette. Stop cold that time. So 3rd down coming up.
Okay, if you ever really needed a chance, if you ever had one.
With 8:35 to go.
It was almost inconceivable because we just never seen it, Jim. I mean, Kansas City's never, Patrick Mahomes has never been held to single digits. He's never lost by double digits. Is that right? I mean, they've won 25 out of the last 26 games he's played or started.
The last time he lost by double digits, he was at Texas Tech and lost to Iowa State in 2016. There's Brady's deep throw, and there is no flag as Gronkowski was the target. Matthew defending.
How about the guts on that play call right there? And Brady throwing it out there, and he had it for a sec, but that's a really tough throw working the other way. And Matthew a little bit late. Would you punt or go for it here? I think you got to punt with this lead, right?
Yeah, even though it's 4th in the yard. Listen,
yeah,
there's only 8 minutes to go. Make him go the full field.
Well, defensively, your job is not to jump off sides. Everybody on this side of the screen right here, don't go past that ball on that line and give them a first down. And over here, I would try and move my head, bob and weave, do a whole bunch of stuff as a center to try and draw them off sides, move up back and forth.
Here's Pinion. They punted on their first 2 drives of the night, and this is the first one since. Fair caught. And a look from our Skycam presented by Michelob Ultra.
Look at how deep those guys are way back, trying to protect the end zone.
Stepping up from the goal line and finding Kelsey. It's all the way out to the 41. Pick up a 33.
A little too soft on this one. Mahomes, though, creating, making a play. So look.
Oh, they've got him again. 2nd sack of the night.
Now Mahomes just trying to find somebody, has to eat it and just take the sack.
Boy, when Eric Fisher went out with the Achilles injury late in the game against Buffalo, what it triggered is you had to move your right tackle to the left side. You had to move your right guard to right tackle. Then you had to insert Wisniewski as a starter for the first time this season. So basically it affected 3 positions. It's been uneasy all night. JPP coming after him. Able to shake him off. He's coming back. Almost got him again.
Oh, there's some rough house going on down there. Oh, I tell you, it looked like Mahomes took a wicked shot, though. I mean, Couldn't see it, but from up here it looked like he got sandwiched by multiple guys. This will be a penalty on Tampa. It has to be for what they did right there.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 90, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Here's where he came back after him for the second time.
Oh.
Boy, just crushed high and low by White.
So this is just hitting him in the head or neck area, which you can't do. Ouch. And he knows it right there. He's trying to tell you he's taking a beating tonight.
Knocked down 8 times. Might have been his easiest throw of the night right there.
Knocked down 8 times, but you got to get up on the 9th.
That's it.
If there's a chance, it's right here. And they really got to do something special, as everyone knows. We're trying to talk them into it to see if they can make it game to the wire, but everything's difficult.
First down from the 40. And incomplete. Let's take a look at next-gen stats.
Some success against them. You've got to eliminate Tyreek Hill almost completely with people deep and helping on every play.
2nd and 10 out of the backfield to Williams. Good spin move to pick up 9. Could have been held to 3, and they're going to run to the line. Mahomes, who first injured that left big toe in the game against Cleveland, later was taken out of the game because of concussion protocol. It has not been an easy postseason for him, and it's never been more difficult at all in the NFL than it has been tonight on any single occasion. Another sidearm throw. Tyreek has it. And now Brady comes in to help push him ahead for an extra couple.
Big throw, great decision there, but you can see the guys who are keen on Tyreek Hill on every play. I'd almost use it against him a little bit, right? Run him through and have someone come underneath, right where he runs through.
There's another catch by Hill, his 5th. Previous play was Mahomes' first 3rd down completion of the game.
Yeah, that's Remmers, left tackle 75, looked like a penalty.
Holding, number 75, offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
There's your backup tackle. It's just hard because now you're trying to come back, but watch him right here. He's going to ride Nelson to the edge, and I don't know, Jim, that's kind of a soft call.
Anthony Nelson dreaming of getting to the quarterback, but held back.
And held back.
To the 37. Tipped and incomplete. Oh, you could smell a pick coming. That was a diving attempt by Mike Edwards. It was tipped away by Dean, who missed the first matchup due to a concussion.
No, and the people that are just around him, Vea gets pressure there, and that's why the ball's just barely behind, and he's having to throw under obvious duress. And you can see the dejection, just a tough day for such a competitor and one of the really great people in this sport.
We got a fan on the field.
Jim, did you run down there? Come on.
I will be later for the trophy presentation, but not this soon.
Brady watching the action going on.
One of the great runs of the night, I will say that. They should sign him. We'll be right back. Post-game show. Just 5 minutes remaining. Oh, what a hit. Ball is out, recovered by Kansas City, but Mahomes is just hammered by Ndamukong Suh. A play that typifies the night for this Tampa Bay defense.
Well, they try and get a big play down the field to Hill, but it takes forever, and he's trying to see, and then right there.
Cam Gillen on 2.
Just trying to do anything to help his team and taking a huge shot. He's got guts. Moving around with a bad foot, but your season's on the line. He's hanging in there trying to find anybody at the last second and give his team just one last shot.
3rd and only 33. Try to get at least half of it here with Tyreek. Reek to the 27. So that'll make it 4th and 10.
That's close to as many yards as he's had all day.
Hill now 5 catches for 61. Kelsey's gone over 100. Customary for him, 9 for 117.
It's just, they took away. Yeah, they really, I mean, this is like right there is just giving them something underneath, right? You have to take away one of those two, but now your Super Bowl is definitely on the line, Jim. You don't get this one. I'm calling it.
Mahomes, chased, running out of real estate, throws. Incomplete, and Tampa Bay makes another stop. Oh, that taunting action right there by Winfield, totally unnecessary.
Well, it is taunting, and that's totally unnecessary. Shouldn't do that. But it's still going to be Tampa Bay's ball because it's after the play, 4th down, turnover on downs. And what a performance by Tampa Bay. You see Winfield taunting, and I don't like that or condone that at all. Tyreek Hill working hard to get open all day, and Winfield feels like you're kicking a guy when he's down, and he's doing his sign that Tyreek does when he scores a touchdown.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 31 of the defense. The ball does go over on downs, and the 15-yard penalty will be enforced half the distance. 1st down, Tampa.
There are going to be a lot of people disappointed that the game did not live up to the hype.
Well, if you're a Tampa fan, you love this. Kansas City not, but yeah, a lot of other. But these two quarterbacks have really stood out, right? Tom Brady is the greatest of all time. He's gone to 10 Super Bowls. He has now won his 7th Super Bowl. And I talked about it earlier in the week. If Patrick Mahomes would have won this game, he would have went from 6-2, and that's a mountain you can climb. 7-1 means that Mahomes now has to probably get to 8. And we're only talking about him because we think he's that special and that good. This one will hurt and sting, but this kid's going to play in a ton of them, and he's going to play and win a ton of them. But getting to 8, Jim? Oh my God! Because if it's 7, Brady beats you head-to-head.
It's the hardest game to get to, and it's just amazing to think that Tom had 3 by the age of 27, and then didn't have a single Super Bowl win between ages 28 to 36, 0. And now here he is at age from 37 to now at 43. This will be his 4th since the age of 37.
He's just figured out how to continue to play at an incredibly high level in his work ethic, commitment to his sport and craft, and just. People don't realize the 5 a.m. studying sessions on Monday to get his team to have a great scheme, this year, and learning all new players and offenses.
Naming of the Super Bowl 55 MVP coming up on the Verizon post-game show.
Well, I do think, it's not inconceivable. What happens if these two teams met again next year and Mahomes beats them then? Then he kind of closes the gap, right? That's about the way to go.
I didn't hear that all the build-up. Okay.
I'm just saying, that one still gives him. If I'm him, I'm always thinking optimistically. But what a job Tom Brady and this Buccaneers team has done.
Look at this. Going for a long ball over the head of Brown.
Well, the reason they do that is the safest throw right there. Throw it deep, one-on-one.
Just want to send along our thoughts and prayers for the little girls and children that were injured in the car crash Thursday night involving head coach Andy Reid's son Britt. Multi-vehicle accident. 2 children in the car hit by Reid's car. Britt Reid's car. He's the outside linebacker coach. Seriously injured. One involving life-threatening injuries, and seeing the picture of the little girl, and she's and her family are very much in our thoughts and prayers. Pinion the punt. 3:35 to go. Tyreek back on the punt return. First time tonight he races out of bounds. Well, how about Bruce Arians? 2 years ago, he was working for CBS. Shows you anything's possible, Tony.
You're right. I'm out of here. I'll see you.
Sure has been fun. He worked with Greg Gumbel and Trent Green. Did a game every week for us. Said he couldn't really use his real voice. At times I thought he might have meant his real vocabulary when he was talking to us about it. But he enjoyed it. He loved going to the practices, the meetings, and finding out what teamwork is like on the broadcast side of it. And still has his CBS blazer, he says, inside his closet at home.
What a special season. And they don't get here without Bruce Arians and his adjustment and ability.
The ball hit the ground, incomplete.
Without his vision and to keep this team going, 7-5. You know how hard that is to get your team, I mean, to go undefeated from that point on. I mean, it starts with your head coach and his vision, and it trickles down. And that's a close call right there. But I think that's an incomplete pass. But what a fantastic job. He deserves a ton of credit.
2nd and 10. He'll able to grab it. He'll be about 2 yards short. Now, he's an interesting guy and has been successful. It took him a long time, talking about Bruce Arians, to get a head coaching job, and he finally got one out of Arizona. All he did is win a couple of Coach of the Year awards. Players love playing for him. Edwards-Helaire down to about the 31.
Well, you know, one thing's like, well, if Kansas City was healthy, I mean, you have a lot of issues. Here's the one thing. They played in the first quarter. Kansas City was ahead 17-0 earlier this year. From that point on, Tampa Bay's won 55-19, Jim. That's not random. The rest of that game, they came back. Tampa ended up losing, and Kansas City kind of dominated early. But the adjustments Tampa has made, they've kind of shown you they've just been more physical. They've won these games in the trenches, or I mean, they've really won late in the year in the trenches. And then Tom just kind of gives you the Tom Brady specialness.
It was a team, according to the coach, that the process took forever to get it to come together. After the no OTAs, they lost O.J. Howard, their tight end, who Brady was really high on right before the start of the season. Evans was injured early. Godwin had missed time during the season. Miller was injured. AB signed in late October. Fournette, of course, had to come over off the waiver wire and catch up. So once you kind of got all that gelled, and that again would be on the timeline right around the bye week, the 1st of December, well, they had their team in place for this stretch drive. I mean, it's a heck of a team. I've heard people say there's a lot more weapons than Tom ever had in New England. As far as being surrounded by great talent, there's a lot here.
You're right. They have a lot of talent. But come on, they had Randy Moss and Wes Welker.
Well, you're going back to 07 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you are right. This team does have some ability.
Here, look at the numbers. It's pretty impressive. As Kelsey has the catch down to about the 25. Looking around, jailed, throws it incomplete. That is a summation of the night.
Yeah, it's just running for your life, a little backyard football getting out.
But you never thought this night would be this one-sided on either side.
No, we thought I thought this would come down to one of the quarterbacks having an opportunity. Every time you watch
something about one for the ages, I think.
That was you. But I actually agreed with you. And I'll tell you though, it's gonna sting. But these two quarterbacks very seldom. Like this year, we watched Brady get blown out a couple times. That's so rare. I mean, for great quarterbacks, because eventually you figure out what the defense is doing. And tonight, there really wasn't a lot of answers for Mahomes. You know, it was like, okay, we know what you're doing. because they didn't like change it up 50 different plays. They kind of lined up and said, we're doing this, but we're just going to go ahead and beat you up front at those spots where you guys have backups. And what a plan by Todd Bowles. He has so much stuff in, but he just kept it simple in a brilliant way.
Former Jets coach who was interviewed as the coaching carousel, and all of that was taking place in January. I know Detroit took a look at him. You've got to think someday, hopefully, he's going to get a second chance at it. He's a great coach.
Oh, yeah. Him and Bieniemy both. Next year, they should be head coaches.
On 4th and 3, they complete it to Robinson for the first down. Back for the last 2 minutes. And boy, that relationship coming together was a big part of this late season surge, as Brady's going to have now individually more Super Bowl wins than the Patriots and the Steelers franchises.
It's unbelievable. And, you know, the decision to go get Brady, it doesn't seem like it was hard, right? But it sometimes is when a guy's older. You just think maybe, you know, they could be slowing down. Tom never showed that, but sometimes people think that. Here's one for you, Jim. You ready? When the Buccaneers go out and get him, Tom Brady has the highest winning percentage of any player in the 4 major sports. The Buccaneers have the lowest winning percentage of any team in the 4 major sports. You go get Brady to turn that around. He did that this year, and this culture's changed forever.
Here comes Mahomes, trying to find the end zone, and no! How about that? One last indignity. Intercepted by White. That defense, tremendous tonight.
Let's give them a share of the Super Bowl or the MVP trophy, right? What they've done in the playoffs to hold Breeze, Rodgers, and Mahomes at bay.
How about that set of quarterbacks?
Has it ever been harder? Ever?
Can't imagine. Gronk comes out of retirement. Wasn't even thinking about ever playing again when he was at the Super Bowl last year. There for the 100-year celebration. And Bruce Arians is about to be the oldest coach to ever win the game. You know, you think a lot of people say you come down to Florida to retire. Well, not these guys. You got Arians that comes down here, wins a Super Bowl. You got Brady. You've got Antonio Brown. Looked like his career was over. Gronkowski comes out of retirement. Fournette was looking for a home. Sue, late in his career, is going to have his first Super Bowl title.
Pierre-Paul, who dominated at different stretches, played like he was young with Spagnuolo again. What a performance.
Listen to him now. Listen to him imploring that team. Now, no wonder they want to call it Tampa Bay. For Tampa, Brady is just a R&D away from making that a reality. And research and development will tell you Jason Light did the right thing, putting all this together. One more snap. Would you have guessed when this impossible season was trying to launch that you'd get it all in, you'd get to Tampa, and when the Super Bowl ended, the ball would be in the hands of Tom Brady?
I don't know why we ever think it won't. It's gotten almost not realistic in anything that we've ever thought. This guy just changes the mold of the way we think and continues, and there's Spagnuolo telling him.
I have no answers for you tonight. That's what he's saying.
Right here, here's Brady saying, hey.
Keep in touch, he says.
Here's looking at you, kid.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a second Super Bowl title in franchise history.
And Tom Brady doesn't pass the torch quite yet to Mahomes, does he?
No.
Even though
you're looking at the greatest right there. The family celebrating. Mom and dad right there in the center.